So this is a lease option deal. It's virtual. Okay. It's also just a real straight, clean deal. And it was an assignment. So that means I wholesaled this deal off. All right. When you wholesale a deal off, you assign it away, you walk away. That's the opposite of a sandwich. Okay. So I'm not staying in the middle anymore here. I've virtually gotten the deal and then I've assigned it to a tenant buyer. So I'm walking away. So a tenant buyer is the end goal here, right? And hopefully he's got a considerable amount of money. Hopefully he's got 10K or more, let's say, because that's what I like to make. Let's see, somebody trying to get in here. Let me make sure I let everybody in. All right, I think we're good. Okay. So how did I get this deal? How did I get the lead? Okay. Like I said earlier, I do the scraper and the text blaster constantly. Okay. Every single week. All right. So there's no magic to my madness here. All right. I don't have any candy. You know what I mean? Like I can't give you any candy here. Like, hey, here's a real trick for it. Okay. It's just simple. I don't know why there would need to be a trick for it. So I just scrape and I do a text blast. All right. You guys have my templates for the text templates. They are in that VIP quick start course. Okay. So if you want to copy me, just copy me. I was thinking this earlier, and please don't take it wrong. I try to never be harsh with anyone or anything here in the club or any topic, even really. Although I do say things sometimes in kind of a vulgar way, or I'll say things in kind of a crude way, and I'll do that sometimes just so I think you'll remember them. But I was thinking earlier, and I literally thought it like this: I swear to God, why do all these people reinvent the wheel? I'm sorry, but I was thinking shit on y'all this morning while I was sitting on the couch a little bit. I was like, man, why are they out there trying to invent this new marketing thing? And I get it. Everything fits everybody differently and all that. But if you really don't know where to go or what to do, just copy me, okay? If you don't know where to go or what to do, like you have no idea where to start, okay, it's okay to just copy off me. Like it's okay. So but I always do the scraper and the text blast. That's my thing, okay? I've been doing that for years, and I'd probably be doing it for years to come until they invent something better, and then I'll jump ship to that. So anyway, that's what I do. So that's how we got the lead. This lead is in Kentucky, and a little town called, it's actually not that little, but a little town called Bowling Green. And let me see if I can show you a picture here. Let's stop the. Let me. Yeah, here we go. I'll share screens in a different way. Here we go. Sorry about that. If you heard the dog. All right, you guys see in this house, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,425 square feet. Look at this estimate, 138. See, this is bread and butter to me, y'all. Okay, bread and butter. Remember, I say bread and butter for me is the flyover states, and it's like 100 to 250,000 typically. Maybe 350 nowadays, but yeah, this is bread and butter. This is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, 1-car garage. Okay. I mean, that's not a bad looking house. I mean, it needs some landscaping and some love, but not a bad looking house, right? So anyway, after talking with this individual, the owner, we got a memo. Okay. A memo. We're going to jump into the paperwork side here a little bit. The memo. You guys know the memo. Okay. This is the memo that's in the folder. Okay. It might look a little different than the last memo that you saw in there. I've updated it recently because we've been making changes to ours. Just some slight changes. So this here's the memo, and you can see how it's filled out. The seller, name, buyer, me, address of the property, purchase price, 139.9. Okay. If you remember, the Zestimate's only 138,218. Okay. So we're in the ballpark though. Monthly lease payment to be $1,050 paid monthly in advance starting the day the tenant moves in. And you can see here on Dotloop, I've added a block that says 2,750 non-refundable deposit due to seller the day the tenant moves in. And then it's pretty much just a standard thing with signatures. Okay. So this lady's story is she bought this house, I believe she said a couple of years ago, and she's got a few properties. And this one here, she had a renter in it, and that renter had moved out, and we called at the right time. We made an offer. It made more sense to this lady. She was a little more savvy. Um, and so I think she was interested in making making a little bit extra money, and I'm okay on that. Uh, that's why we did the 2,750 here, which I thought was pretty reasonable, actually. But we're also going to require a first month's rent and deposit too. Okay, and you'll probably see that in the paperwork that follows. But anyway, just real simple to fill out this memo. Okay, so then we build an ad with same places that we always build an ad. Okay, we build an ad on Craigslist if we can get it to work, and we build an ad on Facebook Marketplace listing. We do a paid ad. Okay, if we don't get any traction on that, we do a paid ad on Facebook. So we have a lot of folks popping in here. Wow, this is great. So we start marketing this property. It doesn't take us very long at all. I think honestly, this might have been the first person that contacted us. Like, and we only had like 3 or 4 contacted us because this deal here went pretty quickly. And the reason why it went pretty quickly is because look, it's bread and butter. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. If it were 2 bath, that would even be better. But this is a 1 bath, but it's got a 1-car garage. I mean, there's a lot of really good things going on about this property here. So anyway, we talked with this lady named Tammy, and yeah, there's her name, Tammy Retner, and we filled out an appointment to view property confirmation memo. You guys, this is in the packet. Okay, real simple. All right, filled it out here at the top. You can see it says the memo serves as a confirmation of an appointment to view this property. There's the address, seller's name, Marsha Hayden. Okay, so we just put all this stuff right here in, like we just edited the document. So if you take out the parts where the blanks are in yours and you fill them in like this, yours will look just like this too. If you're thinking, wow, this looks really professional or something. Well, no, it's just, we just did it on, Word or something. Owner, seller hereby grants permission to view above property address at the following time. Okay, there's the time and the day, name. Okay, all this information we filled in here, and then it was sent for signatures, and you can see we got signatures from both the tenant buyer and the owner. Okay, both. I don't need to sign this one, but the tenant buyer and the owner both have signed this one. However, I will add, this is probably a moot point on here on this one. We probably didn't really have to do this because the house was vacant. So we actually were able to get a lockbox. We got the owner to put a lockbox on the property. So this one here, we didn't really have to have this, but it's a good idea to have it anyway. Okay, it's just, I think it's just being thorough and being professional, and we don't mind doing it. By the way, we got a let me show it to you again. We got a copy of the driver's license and a picture of the car tag Okay. Probably a little overkill on this point, but probably not too. You'll be glad you have it if you ever needed it. So that's what an appointment confirmation memo looks like when it's all filled out. All right. And then let's go here. After the Tammy looked at it, she was totally interested in doing it. And I was totally interested in getting this one off my books. So we went to do the closing. Excuse me. We went to go do closing here, and we started to do a background check, but I decided not to. Maybe I should stop doing that. But I do skip that sometimes. And I skip that sometimes because Tammy is a correctionals officer, okay? So I'm assuming Tammy is probably pretty decent on the background screen. All right. So and she was able to produce pay stubs. So I'm okay with Tammy, I think. All right. And you'll see I get the seller's permission on it too before the end. All right. And we'll take a look at that. So here we go. We fill out the first right of purchase. The owner, here's her name. Here's my name. You can see it's in red here. The address. The term shall provide grantee with a first right of purchase as long as grantee is current with all obligations it has to the grantor. The grantee has the right to require the grantor to offer the property for sale at any time for a period of up to 18 months after the executed date of this contract. And then I slipped this in. Oh, I forgot to show this to you. Let me go back. Yeah, see, look, term of lease. This is the option memo. Term of lease, this is what we negotiated with her, 18 months. Okay. So it didn't say anything about any extensions, right? But when I drew up the contract at the end here, I added that. Grantor will grantee 1 6-month extension upon written request. That means it's technically 2 years, baby. You get it? Okay. Y'all follow me? I just turned this 18-month deal into a 24-month deal. Okay. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I do that kind of stuff all the time. You guys can get fluid with it like that too. Just think about this stuff. Okay. Don't get crazy with it, but you can, you can do stuff like this. Let me let Ray in here. We got more people piling up in here. I'm not sure who that individual is. I think they're a member. They just haven't been here in a very, very long time. I'll check them here. All right. So we're back here to the agreement. You can see I just turned it into a 2-year deal. Price on the agreement in the agreements package. You remember yesterday we were talking about it had the tier system, and I was talking about how I just delete that tier system and just go with a flat price, right? Where it's not going up every 12 months or something like that. So price here $139.9, which is just right here. It's the same as the memo, okay? Same exact as the memo. All right. Consideration in exchange for this right, grantee has paid grantor $2,750. Again, where'd that number come from? Right off this memo. Okay. The day the tenant moves in, $2,750. Okay. Oops. So $2,750 right there. Non-refundable. Okay. Now let's slide down. There's really not a whole lot of vast importance for me to read through all of this. But here, look at the number 9, rights of assignment. Very important to check number 9. Okay. Do you guys remember when the kids at school would do jump rope? They would say engine, number 9, going down Chicago line. If the train should jump the track, do you want your money back? Well, you bet you I do, right? So you better check number 9 here. This agreement may or may not be assigned by you without the seller's written permission. Okay. So you want to make sure this reads appropriately. Now, in this case, it says that I can assign the deal without the seller's permission. All right. I do typically do it that way. And then, of course, it's executed down here at the bottom, seller and me. Statement of understanding. This is our tenant buyer. Okay. Address, name, owner's name. Okay. That's the tenant buyer's name. And then they don't own the property. The property is owned by this person. They go on to acknowledge that they're just leasing. They're not, on title or any of that. Okay. On and on and on. County down here. Warren County. Okay. That had to be changed. All right. Then we have that kind of takes care of the option side of things on the lease option. So here we have a residency agreement, or AKA a lease agreement. Okay. So I've tried to put things here in red so it's easier for the seller and consequently us today. Marcia, owner, property address, agrees to provide 100% rights of residency to Tammy, tenant buyer, real property address, 18-month term, and will automatically renew on a month-to-month basis at the end of the term. So what's this mean? That means it's a 18-month rental agreement that goes month to month after that. The option side, though, remember, we just structured it where it will be 18 months also, but there's a 6-month additional option to continue to extend, right? If the tenant buyer requests in writing. So we could actually go month to month for the last 6 months of 2 years and end up getting this property. The tenant buyer could buy it. Okay. So it just creates a little bit more flexibility in the deal for the tenant buyer. Okay, y'all. Think about that kind of stuff as you're going through these. And this does take time to put together, okay, and think through. It's not automatic. I wish it were. Payments, $1,050 a month. That came right off of the memo. Again, here we're back at the memo. There's the 150. Okay. So here's 1,050. Okay. 1,050 per month each month of this entire lease agreement. All payments are due on the 1st. Here's where the address is for the lady where she wants the money sent every month. Okay. There are no refundable monies or deposits. Okay. Occupant names. Okay. Now we have some stuff where I have them initial, the tenant buyer. Okay. So you can see pets, smoke, security devices, exterior door locks, the smoke detectors. They initial that. Late fees, they initial that. So they know there's late fees. Repairs down here. Look at this. Repairs. Owner pays 0. Okay. Property is in as is condition. All right. You might want to change that around if you're doing this. All right. Depending on the deal, it might be a split 50-50, or it might be the first 250 of every month is the tenants. Everything beyond that is the owner's responsibility. You might want to word things a little differently for each deal. Okay, so if we slide down here, you can see there's another initialing right here: default and right of reinstatement, inspection as is. Got to have a telephone number where we can reach you at all times. Insurance, got to have insurance. Let's see, on down. This is just a lease agreement. It comes with a range, a microwave, refrigerator, dishwasher, garbage disposal. County, I had to add the county name in again down here. All of this is this is the same boilerplate agreement that's in the package, that you guys have. I had to add Kentucky down here in choice of law. And then slide down. Again, it's just a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. It's just a lease agreement. And then I have the tenant buyer, my tenant buyer, and the owner sign that together. Okay. Then we have the addendum, which is the assignment agreement, basically. Okay. All right. And this is probably where everybody's like, okay, this is the one I wanted to know how to fill it out. Okay. So let's just pause here for a minute and go through it. This agreement is an addendum to the first right of purchase between Mo2 and the owner of the home on the contract dated 3/7/2021. And what contract is it referring to? This one. The one you just did seconds ago. It's referring to the first right of purchase. Okay? It's an addendum to this document. Somebody tell me what an addendum is. Anybody?
Add-on.
Yeah. It's just an added on thing. Yeah.
Addition.
Yeah.
So you have an addendum to this. You're adding on to this document right here. So remember, this document, we just did it. It was between the owner and me. Okay. So this is my exclusive option to buy that house. Okay. This is the exclusive option part of the lease option. And down here is where I'm going to assign that over to the tenant buyer using an addendum. Okay. Instead of an assignment agreement here, I'm just going to use an addendum. All right. And it says this addendum is the addendum to that first right of purchase between Mo2 and the owner, dated that day. Okay. Dated the same day we did this one, in fact. Okay. It was all done the same day. Concerning property located at 309. Okay. 9,000. Oh, man, I about had a heart attack there for a second. I thought that said 9 million for a minute. I was like, oh my God, did we actually say we were going to give $9 million to somebody? Oh, that's nutty. Okay, $9,000 is being paid to Mo2, which is what Tammy wanted. What Tammy had to give. I'm sorry. Tammy gave us $9,000, but remember, this paragraph right here refers to, okay, it refers to that money that I have to give the seller. And let's take a look at that again. $2,750, right? Consideration for this right here, $2,750. So if we take 9,000 and we subtract $2,750, what do I end up with? Anybody? Nobody knows. 9,000 minus $2,750. It's $6,250. Okay. And then actually I had all three parties sign this one, the owner, me, and the tenant buyer. Does that make sense, what I'm talking about? Or is everybody blank on that? They're like, what? Or maybe
it does make sense. Just in one quick question.
Yeah.
So you all three were present at one time, or you went to the seller first, had it signed, then went to the buyer and had it signed? Or they were all three together at one point?
No, the way I put it together is I put it together where all the signatures are on it, and then I hit send and share, okay. and it just goes. So I'm not real sure who gets it first, but my assumption is that the buyer gets it first. Okay. Because that's tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that my email program would know that, my signature program would know that, but maybe it doesn't.
And you're using DocuSign for signature?
I'm using .loop, DOTL. Yeah. Okay. .loop.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No more questions.